Welcome to Strip Talking, a podcast from stripwalking.com.
I don't understand this Whopper situation.
I did not eat tuna in college, despite my best efforts.
A branch of the Branch Davidians, David Cornish.
It's what brings fun to Vegas, math.
Usually that's one of the things that really comes naturally to you is insulting me.
All right, Jeff, you're the podcast expert.
Spider pig, spider pig.
Nobody's going to care. Mom's not going to care. She's glad I'm hydrating.
Don't put words in his mouth. Put Monster Burgers in his mouth.
We can still be friends.
I don't think so.
I don't know that I'll respect you as much.
I don't know that we can respect him at all.
Take your ketchup meat back.
In this episode, Jay enjoys Pop-Tarts for the first time in 20 years. The guys find a source for Earl of Sandwich Bread. Crab fries make the Strip Talking Food Hall of Fame. Michael Jordan is mailing out strip walking shirts, and Jeff pisses in the shower.
Here are your hosts, and maybe.
Welcome to this episode of Strip Talking Podcast, brought to you by stripwalking.com. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jay, as you know. I have Jeff with a G here tonight. Jeff, very good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
They say the 21st episode is always the hardest to make.
I've heard that.
And why do they say that, Mike?
It's very common in the industry. Us insiders know that stuff. It's proving to be true with us.
Lucky number 21.
But yeah, it's good to have the band back together. It seems like it's been a while, which it has been a while. Like you said, episode 21 has proven to be a little hard to get recorded, but we're here.
That was a really, really close-up shot of...
Yeah, it was my nipples. Sorry about that.
That's for Patreon content. Don't...
OnlyFans. Strip walking OnlyFans.
Patreon, OnlyFans, what's the difference?
We're going to do something we don't do very often, and that's follow up on shit we talk about in previous episodes.
Okay.
We talked about sourcing Earl of Sandwich Bread, and while it was very funny, there was no resolution whatsoever. So
No.
I did get on the Turano, did we decide that's how you say it?
I think
Bakery website. I filled out a contact form. They did not respond. They have a link to an Instacart thing that if you want to buy it, but that just pulls up Instacart, but you have to order it from a grocery store in Chicago. So that doesn't really work if you're not in Chicago. The name of the grocery store is Mariano's Grocery. So if you are in the Chicago area, you can get it. Went down a little bit of that rabbit hole and found out they are owned by Kroger, but you cannot get it at Kroger's because Kroger's are much more common in the South. Thought maybe we could send Trey after some or something, but it seems like only Mariano's in Chicago carries it as far as like that I could find in store places. Amazon has people probably capitalizing on schmucks like us that will sell you a case of 48 buns for $100.
Wow.
It's a little high.
I'd pay a premium for the bread, but I don't want 48 of them. I don't want to spend $100 on bread. If the case was 10, maybe I'd do it. But as I was putting together this outline for the podcast yesterday, I stumbled across a link that I had not seen any of my research until now. There is this little ChicagoJohnnies.com. I don't know if they're a grocery store or what they are. They must be in the Chicago area. But they are advertising. They will sell you 2 bags, which is a 24 rolls in total for $35.88, and they will ship it. It says your order will ship on the following Monday for Thursday or Friday delivery. I do not refund for any Turano, and I do not manufacture the product. I purchase it from the store. And then you have to check the box that says, yes, I understand the shipping of this bread is Mondays only. It also talks about how you should freeze it if you want to save it when it arrives, and how you should unfreeze it if you want it to taste the best. 24 rolls, $35. Then they hit you with shipping. I actually did go all the way to checkout to be sure that we're actually going to ship it, and to see what the shipping was, it was about $5, so $40. Obviously, it's not cheap, but I think I might be able to stomach that to try it and see if it can make something that tastes like an actual Earl of Sandwich. What do you think?
I'll split it with you if
I
you
was going
want.
to say, I'd have to say I'm interested.
Let's do it.
Basically, though, if you want to buy it in person, you're going to have to do it in Chicago, is what it seems like to me, or maybe the ChicagoJohnnies.com. We will try this, and we will probably forget to follow up on it next episode. So no one listening to the podcast will ever know what happens from here. Next thing, we talked about Gatorgum briefly and whether you can still get it. Or, well, we knew it was discontinued. One of us, I think, mentioned eBay. You can still get it on eBay. It is crazy expensive. 3 packs were going, this was several weeks ago, 3 packs of the gum for $225.
Holy shit.
And I don't remember where, I think it was probably on the listing, was saying that technically you could still eat it. I don't remember the rationale, but they said it was safe, or maybe not safe, but
Shelf stable.
wouldn't kill you. But I am not ordering 3 packs for $225.
I will not go halvesies with you on that.
Okay, so that one's all Jeff. Next up. Next up is going to be a lot more fun. We talked about how Jay has never, or is it never or not in a long time?
Long time.
Long time.
Probably 20 years.
Not remember the taste at all, or?
No, I would say I remember the taste.
Jay says he does not eat Pop-Tarts. So I said, of course, then I'm going to make you eat Pop-Tarts. Then as we were getting ready for this podcast, I said, are you going to eat Pop-Tarts? And typical Jay, zero response.
I'm a busy man.
Typical me, I won't let anything go. And I Walmart Plus delivered it right to his door. And he is taking him out of the box right now.
I was very satisfied with the Walmart Plus delivery.
What flavor you got there, Jay?
Mike hooked me up with 3 flavors.
I spared no expense.
Frosted strawberry, cherry, and blueberry. Strawberry's kind of the classic, right?
We'll have this discussion afterwards because I'm sure Jeff and I both have thoughts on the best one. Do you have a toaster?
So I do upstairs. I did not bring it to the podcast room, but...
What the fuck, man?
Well...
It's okay.
I mean...
It's okay.
It's pretty close.
Jeff, it's not okay.
It is, I will note, it's a special edition strawberry box.
Does the frosting actually look like that on the top?
Well, let me just show you. Because I have no idea.
This is an unboxing on a podcast.
That's true. That's true.
Listening to him mess with that wrapper makes my salivary glands.
That's kind of like the clicking of the Guitar Hero.
Yep. It's known. It is the same wrapper I remember from 20 years ago.
Yeah, that has not changed.
No. It's foil, but not. Now, because this is a special edition, Dream Big, some sort of... It must be NFL sponsored at some level, because there's a lot of football sort of pictures.
Are you sure it's not the Pop-Tarts Bowl?
Yeah, actually.
Oh, that's the Pop-Tarts Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
It's totally the Pop-Tarts Bowl. That's what it is. Yep, 100%.
I don't know if either of you watched that or have watched it last year. The deal is, at the end of the game, the MVP picks one of the flavors, and they have this giant toaster. So the different Pop-Tarts are running around the whole game, the flavors, as alive mascots. And one of them gets toasted, which means burned alive.
Yeah.
Based on who the MVP picks. They have a giant toaster. He climbs up on a ladder, and he slowly goes down in. And then, he gets halfway down, and then he starts miming like he's screaming in pain.
That's awesome.
And at the bottom, I assume it's real because they eat it. A giant Pop-Tart comes out, and the whole team eats it. Like,
okay,
the flavor that he chose. So it's supposed to be like he actually got toasted, and now they're eating him.
Did you see that the actual
That's hilarious.
trophy for the Pop-Tarts Bowl is it has a toaster in it, and you can it
Works, doesn't it?
It works, yeah, it does. The marketing team did a good job with that, and the sidelines and the white of the field, the out of bounds lines were speckled like they were
the sprinkles. Yeah.
No.
There was something I caught. I don't know if it happened the next day or like after the game. So the strawberry was picked last year, so he's dead. So he couldn't be at the bowl this year. They didn't have him. But then that's some sort of thing where he came back. I think it was, so only one of them's dead at a time. Some sort of video. They released a video where he came back,
That's funny. It's good stuff.
Well, that seems to have inspired the frosting on Pop-Tarts because there is a design printed in the fake sugar that they put on top.
I'm worried it's going to taste different, though.
It shouldn't.
Okay,
It shouldn't.
well.
Let's do it, Jay. Let's do it.
So you're doing the cold taste test first.
Well, the room temperature taste test at least.
To me, that's cold.
Well, yeah, and we'll get into that because there are instructions on the box.
Yes, you did point that out, which I had never noticed.
I don't remember this, but, put them in the toaster, microwave. Who's ever microwaved a Pop-Tart? Remove from foil before heating. I mean, they got to put that on there for the kids these days.
And the meth heads.
But then there's one for freezer. Put pouch in freezer, wait 20 minutes, enjoy the frosty goodness. I have never thought of freezing a Pop-Tart.
I haven't either.
But you're not freezing it, you're just chilling it, basically.
Just
not
getting
getting
it
frozen in 20 minutes.
No, not in 20 minutes. I can't see that being good.
No, but that makes me wonder, what would it taste like completely frozen? Because my daughter, the Uncrustables, right?
Yeah.
Those.
Yeah.
My daughter loves those frozen. That doesn't sound like something I would think would be good frozen either.
Are they like crunchy? Or do they just kind of...
They're just frozen. Solid.
I don't know what to think about that.
We're getting off track.
Yeah, we are.
So you're going to start with the strawberry room temperature Pop-Tart.
Yep, raw dogging it.
Now, Jeff, do you have a certain way you eat them? Because I do.
I have two different ways that I eat them. Do you want me to tell you what they are now, or do we let Jay enjoy and then we can kind of give him some?
We got to tell him ahead of time so he can make informed decisions on how to eat them.
Okay.
I don't know what to do with this thing.
Okay, so my first way that I eat a Pop-Tart, if it's a cold one, is I take and I break it in half and I eat the inside out. I like the outside, to me, where there's no frosting and it's just extra breading before you get to the actual filling. I don't like that very much, so I break it in half and I start on the inside part where you're already getting to the fruit filling.
That is the correct answer.
Really?
But
Don't you just get crumbs everywhere from breaking it?
But I will add something else. I will break it a little off center, eat the smaller one first. So I have an extra big one for the finisher.
The other way, and I don't know if you're going to throw one into the toaster or not, Jay, but I like to put them in the toaster. And then since they're already such a healthy breakfast alternative anyway, I'll throw them in the toaster, get them good and hot, and then I'll put some butter on the back side of it and eat it that way.
Holy mackerel.
What?
Have you ever tried it?
No, I have not.
Should try it.
You butter it after the toaster or before?
After the toaster. So it melts, so the butter melts onto the back side of it.
I have not tried that. I could be persuaded to try it though. But I want to go back to something you said. Jay is in fact going to try the toasted ones. That's not a question.
Okay.
Definitely. I'll pick my two favorite room temperature ones, and then we'll toast the other because it's a 2-pack here, right?
Okay.
I do remember that.
Yep.
370 calories. That's cool.
Nobody cares about the calories.
Well, New Year's resolutions and all.
Yeah, I know, but otherwise nobody cares about the calories.
I'm not gonna break it. I'm gonna go corner.
If people could only see Jay's face right now.
Why is it so dry?
Because there's no butter on it.
That is dry.
What flavor is that one?
Strawberry.
Well, you started on the driest part of it, crust. That's why you start off in the middle.
I gotta take a drink of beer here. Hold on. Oh, that's better.
Beer does go pretty good with Pop-Tarts, actually.
Worked for me that time.
It kind of works.
I kind of remember now how I remember there being more fruit in the middle. Like, is this shrinkflation?
Probably.
It's not a lot of fruit in there. I remember now, I like to always get a little bit of crust in every bite with the middle. I remember that. We're moving on to cherry. That was good. Strawberry was good. Cherry,
Yes.
classic with the sprinkles.
And also, I'll just throw out there are some weirdos that will tell you that unfrosted is better. Not true at all.
Psychos.
Isn't there something about an unfrosted one has more calories than a frosted one?
I don't know about that.
Look it up.
Wait, I'm you now?
I think they need to calibrate their frosting machine because it's like way off.
I noticed that.
Way off center.
I noticed that when you held it up. The frosting looks a little sketch on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It's like pouring off the top.
That's pretty much the way it always is.
Now, I'm a cherry fan, so I'm looking forward to this one.
Oh, look at you. Yes, unfrosted Pop-Tarts have more calories than frosted. This is because unfrosted Pop-Tarts have a thicker crust to compensate for lack of frosting.
Interesting. So you gave me the healthier option. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Just looking out for you.
I appreciate that. All right. I'm raw dogging the cherry one. That tastes exactly the same.
No, it doesn't.
No.
That is literally the same.
Spoiler alert, cherry's the best.
Now the cherry's coming through.
As in pies, cherry's the best.
It's a very artificial cherry, but that's okay. Yeah, I like that one better. I do.
Yeah.
I thought strawberry was the classic, but I like that better.
Strawberry is the classic. I would even say it's more classic than cherry. It's not better.
And I like the crunchy sugar sprinkles. I don't remember that.
They do pop a little bit more.
Yeah, they do.
There's a textural thing.
Yeah, but it's still pretty dry. Pretty dry.
Nobody's saying you don't wash them down with a drink.
True. Okay, blueberry. Oh, it's blue. It is blue. Oh, man. White frosting.
Mm-hmm. Classic
With
blueberry.
sprinkles. Jesus, I dropped it. The corner broke off and I dropped it. There's crumbs everywhere.
Thank God it wasn't toasted.
Japers, look at that. I tried to hold it by the corner. That's a rookie mistake.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right, I'm going in. Oh, my God. Why are they so dry?
I always have to have milk with mine. They are dry.
I prefer milk myself. But like I said, beer, in a pinch, beer's not bad either.
I don't like the blueberry at all.
See, I would argue
It's
that
all right.
I would argue that blueberry is the classic flavor. I don't like it the best.
What?
Yeah.
Strawberry's the classic.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to argue with anybody. To me, when
You just said you'd argue.
I said I'm not going to argue, but
you just said you'd argue that blueberry is the classic.
okay, fine.
That's arguing.
This is almost as bad as saying that the Whopper without cheese is better. I was just simply saying that for me, when I think of Pop-Tarts when I was little, it was blueberry. I don't know if that's the kind we always got or what.
That's probably it. It's whichever one, because my mom always bought strawberry. But I will argue that you remember they used to be in our vending machine in the dorm?
Yes, I do. Right next to the rubbers.
What flavor were they?
The rubbers or the Pop-Tarts? They were blueberry.
No, they weren't. They were strawberry.
I don't remember.
Now you need to cleanse the palate.
I got an IPA. Will that work?
Is it a sorbet IPA?
Yep, it is. Man, those are dry.
Aren't you impressed with my food knowledge there?
Your knowledge of the word sorbet. Yes.
Isn't that a palate cleanser?
It is.
Absolutely, it is. Yep.
Yeah.
Traditionally made with fresh fruit, served before the main course. Yeah.
It's fun to say. All right, toast those babies up.
Okay, I'm going to toast cherry and strawberry.
You got to narrow it down. You didn't like the blueberry, which makes Jeff sad.
But I'm going to put it in the freezer while I'm up there.
Okay. Yeah, in
For 20
15 minutes you can try that one. Yeah. Was it 20?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man, heartburn. Yes, it says 20. How can Pop-Tarts give you heartburn? Okay, be right back.
Jeff, it was strawberry in the vending machine. You know that, right?
Okay, well, I'll believe you.
No, I feel like you don't believe me.
No, I do. It just, I can remember those.
I lived on those things.
True. You would know.
You're right, though. It's whatever your parents bought.
Yeah.
That's what makes it classic.
And I don't know why my mom bought the blueberry ones, because I don't know that any of us like the blueberry ones.
I don't even know that we knew there were other flavors for many years.
Probably not.
Wait, that's not true. There was one other flavor, and that's the one I'm going to get into, the one that is discontinued. I really, really miss. Do you remember any discontinued flavors, Jeff?
I remember when I was a little kid, my parents liked the brown sugar and cinnamon one. and that was never one that was my favorite.
They still have that one, don't they?
They do.
I don't think you understand the meaning of the word discontinued.
I'm trying to remember what ones have been discontinued. That's part of the problem.
That's what I'm asking you. Can you
S'mores? Was the s'more one discontinued?
I think they still got that abomination too. Let me see if I can find a list. We're probably going to get a bunch of one-offs. Peanut butter and jelly. Remember that?
Oh, I do remember that one.
You know, at the football game, they had cinnamon roll. That's actually the one the guy picked. I don't think I've ever seen that in any store. Oh, talking to me. Jay is returning.
Okay, I'm back.
Right. We don't want to let it get too cool, so let's get right into it.
Okay, I put him on a paper towel. Is that acceptable?
Yep.
That's how you almost always do it.
You're supposed to use a plate? No, plate. Okay.
No, paper towel. That's how it's done.
They are freaking hot. How do they make the frosting so it doesn't melt in the toaster? You know, like, it's just as hard and crunchy as it was before.
Jeff, you got any insights to that?
I do not know.
It's a non-nutritive cereal varnish.
Classic. Christmas vacation line. Love it. Okay, starting strawberry. That's hot.
You made it. You might have gone too far. If the edges start to turn brown, you've gone too far.
They're slightly, I'd say they're golden brown.
Yeah, it's probably a little too far.
Okay. I don't know what I'm doing.
But it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Okay, these are too hot to put in my mouth.
Which one are you doing first?
We're gonna start with strawberry, and this one with the custom
Pop-Tart going into the toaster on the football field, saying,
"That's right, eat me." Corner first. No, I'm gonna try the break it thing, like you said.
I think you'll really appreciate that. Especially that'll cool it off a little bit too in the middle. You don't blow on it. Whatever you do, you don't blow on it.
And then you just eat the middle?
Yeah. Best part first. That'll be a good bite right there.
Oh, it's way less dry.
That's a good bite.
Oh, that's delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I remember from 20 years ago. Why did you tell me to eat him room temperature? Why did you let me eat him room temperature?
Because any Pop-Tart connoisseur is going to consume their fair share of room temperature Pop-Tarts. And why is that? Not because they taste better, just because they're too fucking lazy to put them in the toaster.
That's where the pop of the Pop-Tart comes from, with the toaster popping them up, right?
I totally agree. But am I wrong, Jeff?
No.
I think that's why the freezer thing confuses me, because you're totally losing the pop of the Pop-Tart, which comes from the toaster. Okay.
I will eat Pop-Tarts to this day, room temperature, when I'm standing next to the toaster, just because I don't want to wait another minute and a half to fucking toast it.
I remember them being larger. Or maybe I was smaller. You know? Maybe it's a relative thing.
Yeah, I can see on there it is a little overdone, but not bad.
Just on the edge.
Yeah.
Okay, cherry going in.
You didn't break this one.
No, I don't like the brick thing.
You don't like the break thing?
It gets crumbs everywhere.
I think any method gets crumbs everywhere. It's Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, cherry's the best.
Yeah.
There's no question.
For sure. I would say the best currently available. There is a flavor that's been long discontinued, and I have no idea why, called vanilla cream.
Oh, yes, and it was a chocolate flavored Pop-Tart with vanilla cream.
Right.
Oh.
Which I believe they see the cookies and cream as probably having replaced. Totally different, though. It's not even close to the same Pop-Tart. The vanilla cream was so good.
How many flavors are there, would you say?
Let's see here. I've got on Walmart.com right now. I've got brown sugar cinnamon, cherry, hot fudge sundae, which also tries to replicate that vanilla cream and fails. Chocolate fudge, which is, I would put that in the classic category, but not the good category. Cookies and cream, unfrosted strawberry, frosted blueberry, frosted s'mores, frosted strawberry, variety pack, frosted marshmallow hot cocoa,
Jesus.
wild berry, which is a turd sandwich. It's like the hot dog of the Pop-Tarts world.
Okay. It's what they sweep up off the floor. Yeah.
Yeah. They sweep up the crumbs and make it into wild berry.
Makes sense.
I have not tried strawberry milkshake, but I'm intrigued. Frosted banana bread, which I have tried and is terrible. Frosted chocolate chip. And then the one we were talking about earlier, Jeff and I are very intrigued by I think this is new, is frosted Boston cream donut.
Okay.
So that would be like the cream of a donut in the filling, which sounds delicious.
Right.
There's also a pumpkin pie one and a confetti cupcake and a raspberry. There's
Cheap.
just a shit ton of them. Snickerdoodle, chocolate chip pancake, Apple Jacks.
That's crazy.
I was telling Jeff that the one that got picked to get roasted at the bowl game was actually cinnamon roll, which I'd never heard of, and I don't see it on the Walmart website in regular Pop-Tart form. But they also sell Pop-Tart minis, which you can't toast those. So that's them acknowledging, I guess, that a lot of their consumers do raw dog them. But I did see that flavor in the minis, so maybe it is only a mini cinnamon roll. They're just little popper things like pizza rolls, only Pop-Tarts.
I still think that y'all need to try just one time. Because I agree with Mike. Cherry is the answer for the best Pop-Tart. But one time when you're feeling like you've not had enough calories for the day, throw one of them babies in, put some butter on the back of it and that butter will melt, and it's pretty fantastic.
I could give that a try.
It's like you're eating a little cherry pie because you get that warm, buttery crust type taste, and then you get the cherry filling. It's a poor man's McDonald's cherry pie, but it's still pretty darn good.
Okay, since you said that, do you remember the 80s version of the McDonald's cherry pies?
Oh, yeah.
80s, early 90s?
Oh,
The
yeah.
flaky crust thing?
Oh, yeah.
Those things were awesome.
They were. Burn the shit out of the roof of your mouth.
Yes, but they're like flaky. I don't know how to just awesomeness.
They were good. I don't disagree.
What if you can get those on eBay?
Well, I am glad, Jay, that you did put forth the effort to try the Pop-Tarts. I know Mike had them delivered and basically forced you to eat them, but I am glad that you tried them. You sacrificed it all just for the sake of the show.
Will you be buying Pop-Tarts in the future now?
That is not currently anything I have on my shopping list, no.
So we didn't convert you then?
No, while I get their appeal, it's just not my style.
Okay, that's fair. You tried them. I'm proud of you.
I'm not a huge breakfast eater anyway.
Next thing you know, Mike will be eating Indian food.
Well, we'll get there, but I'm not a big breakfast person anyway, and I'd rather have bacon.
Seems kind of like an oversight that they don't have a bacon Pop-Tart yet, right? I'm going to take that as no. The overwhelming response to that question.
That sounds terrible.
Because it would just be fake bacon.
So we had our first issue with our shirts. First potentially unhappy customer got contacted by a lady who ordered a crap shirt. This was back around Christmas time. It was probably about a week before Christmas. And she said, I just got a notification that your shirt was delivered, but it's not here. So do I need to do a chargeback or what on my credit card? Like, shit, that's a page out of my playbook. These credit card chargebacks suck. And I emailed her back. Basically said, it's USPS during the holidays. They're awful. Maybe give it another day or two or see if they delivered it to the wrong address, which I've had happen to me several times, both getting the package of somebody else's and have some of my packages go to the wrong street, a block down or something. And then I should have tracked it before I responded, but I tracked it afterwards and it said it had been delivered on my tracking. So then I go, and I sent her another message saying, can you send me the tracking or what are you looking at here? You're looking at the tracking email we sent you. I'm not showing it's been delivered. And she sent me a screenshot of a UPS, which I don't think it was shipped to UPS. I know it wasn't. It was shipped to USPS. And it says, your package is delivered from Michael Jordan.
So I do have a question. I have a question before we go any further. So I seem to recall on an episode a couple times ago how we were upset about guaranteed 2-day delivery. Did we have anywhere in our verbiage that says guaranteed delivery?
No.
Oh, thank God.
Absolutely not.
Okay, you can continue.
And not to get into another story. We don't want to get into this story. But I shipped back when the PS5s came out. I did get one and sold it off and tried to make a little profit on it. And it ended up getting, I think it just sat on like a loading dock for like a month. And of course, the lady, it was a similar situation. She was wanting to get it before Christmas for her kids. And I think it ended up finally getting delivered, but it was like a week after Christmas. And USPS is just the worst. It's awful around Christmas time. So I expected something bad to have happened, but it was kind of funny. And this lady turned out to be super nice about it at the end. In the end, I thought it was funny that it was from Michael Jordan, and I'm guessing she was probably younger. Maybe she needs to listen to some of our Gen Z story time, that age range. So she probably didn't know who Michael Jordan was. And it probably didn't help that I was signing my emails Mike.
If you just signed it his airness, would that have helped?
Probably not.
Oh, that is funny. But it's okay. So Michael Jordan was shipping this gal this shirt. How did we get it resolved?
Well, I explained to her that it was likely a fake mess. And I don't know if I could see I think she just sent me a screenshot. She didn't send me the actual email. The dead giveaway usually is the from email. Jay knows this. It'll usually be like from a Gmail account or something like that. It won't be from actual UPS.com.
UPS shipper at gmail.com.
I don't think they probably knew she was expecting a package. It was just really well timed because I get that shit all the time, whether I'm expecting a package or not. So it was just a lucky coincidence that she was expecting a package and she thought it was her package and was freaking out. She contacted me instead of them, which is, if she would have contacted them, they would have tried to scam her out of some money. So she's fortunate she
got lucky,
me.
Really.
It ended up arriving a couple days after Christmas. It was supposed to arrive before Christmas on the tracking, and it just kept getting pushed back. Arrived like the 27th, 28th, somewhere in there. But this shirt did arrive. She said she liked, or she was for her husband. She said her husband loved it, and she was super nice in the end. So not trying to make fun of her or anything. I just thought it was kind of funny, the Michael Jordan part of it, and a little bit scary, the whole phishing emails. You've got a package bullshit, but it works. It works on some people.
So I have to say that if I got a package that said Michael Jordan was sending me something, I would be so pumped.
You have to understand, Jeff, there's a whole generation of people now that don't know who Michael Jordan is. And that's depressing.
That just is mind-boggling to me. I mean, seriously, mind-boggling to me. And actually, maybe we should educate some people about that.
You think, Jeff?
I think we should
have a Gen Z story time.
I think it does. I think that fits quite well.
All right, lead us off, since I did no research on it.
You want me to lead us off, or you want Jay to?
Come on, Jay's not a basketball guy.
True.
No, true. I'm not. Sorry. I do know who Michael Jordan is.
But you know how we know he's not a basketball guy? He always picks Kansas in the NCAA tournament.
KU's having a rough year. Basketball this year. I'd rather not talk about it.
Okay. All right.
Are they?
It's been a rough few games. Yeah, rough few games.
Anyway. So as usual, we like to take this moment to enlighten our many listeners of the younger generation that have no idea of the things that we grew up with. It's affectionately known as Gen Z Storytime, and because we had the issue with the Michael Jordan stuff, we figured we might as well educate these Gen Zers about the greatest basketball player of all time, Mr. Michael Jordan.
Before LeBron, before Kobe, there was a guy named Michael Jordan who was the greatest basketball player of all time. Still is.
I would agree with that. Michael Jordan went to school, well, actually, I'll back up. It's ironic that we are already labeling him as the greatest basketball player of all time. And it's a pretty famous story that when he was in high school, as like a sophomore in high school, he hadn't grown yet. And he actually was told by his coach, he was cut from the varsity team. He didn't make the varsity team. He ended up growing like 5 or 6 inches over the next year. He played for 3 years at the University of North Carolina. As a freshman, he made the game-winning shot in the championship game. And then after that, he ended up being drafted. This surprised me a little bit. Drafted 3rd overall He wasn't even the number 1 draft pick that year. Do you know who was?
Sam Bowie or Sam Perkins?
Nope. Number 1 was Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon. And then number 2, you were correct. Sam Bowie went to Portland, and then he was the number 3 pick of the Chicago Bulls that year.
So Olajuwon wasn't a bad pick.
No. Olajuwon
Sam Bowie was
a good pick. He definitely panned out. But they say that that Sam Bowie pick goes down as one of the worst picks all time because they took him over Michael Jordan. But anyway, Michael Jordan then went on to he was the Rookie of the Year, his first year in the pros. I don't know, man. He won how many scoring titles? He averaged like 30 points plus per game.
So I would say, like LeBron, he had nobody around him when he came into the league, right? He just kind of had to carry the team.
Especially early in his career at Chicago. I mean, he basically single-handedly took them to the playoffs, elevated them to the playoffs.
Then they got Scottie Pippen.
Yep. Then they got Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant. But I don't know. We could go on forever about the argument that LeBron James is a better basketball player or the greatest of all time compared to Michael Jordan. But I don't know. That guy was something else. But anyway,
he won 3 straight.
They won. Yeah. So they struggled. He struggled early on, or the Bulls did. They couldn't beat at that time. The best team in the league was the Detroit Pistons, and I think they beat them out like 3 or 4 years in a row of the playoffs. Then finally, I think it was in '91, the Bulls finally beat the Pistons, made it to the finals, beat the Lakers in the finals. They won, so then they ended up winning 3 championships in a row, and then out of nowhere, he retires. And I've
not just retires. What's he do, Jeff?
He goes and plays baseball.
Oh, in the majors?
Minors.
Oh, he plays in the minors. What?
Played in the minor league. Yep.
The minor leagues?
Yep, minor leagues. So he goes from being the best basketball player in the world to retiring and going and playing minor league baseball.
For the Birmingham Barons.
That's right.
Don't even have it pulled up, Jeff.
You don't have it pulled up?
No. Do you?
I do not.
Jay, do you?
No, I do not. But I know there are a few conspiracies around this, quote, retirement that mostly involve illegal gambling, which is my favorite part of the story.
Yes. Nice. Go ahead and lay those on us.
Some theories suggest that maybe this break from basketball was due to some illegal gambling situations, that he just needed to take a little break from professional basketball.
He did enjoy his gambling.
Which he should not be faulted for, because it's fun.
Do you know what his game of choice was?
I do not.
I don't either.
I wonder. I'm going to look that up.
Well, I think it actually was. I think it was mostly sports gambling. There was one story about how he lost over $1 million in a golf game.
Oh yeah, he did bet on golf.
Yeah, bet on golf. Bet on a lot.
His own golf games, though.
Yes,
not like betting who was going to win. The PGA
yes,
Tour
like his own games. But then, yeah, there's speculation that if you watch the documentary that he had, I mean, he talked about he was notorious for pushing the limits of what he could do from a gambling aspect.
What about that would get him in trouble? Just because it's illegal to gamble?
At the time, I think there was concern possibly that he was even betting on basketball, but I don't think that he necessarily was. From everything that I have read, I don't think that he necessarily was betting on basketball. I think it was more so he was betting on these side things that he was doing, like we said, golfing, other stuff like that.
If he's not betting on basketball, I don't see the issue.
I don't either.
Right. Well, I don't either. And I think that they've actually come out and said that there was not enough. I don't think there was enough evidence that he was. So, that kind of theory was kind of debunked. But I have read that, Jay. You're exactly right.
Sport.
But also,
anyway,
as we're talking about that, didn't his dad die right around that time? Didn't his dad get killed right around that time? Or am I thinking Tiger Woods? No, I think it's Michael Jordan.
I had that thought too. Was that Tiger?
See, Gen Zers, these are the experts talking here. But his dad died. I know his dad died. And it was a sudden thing.
Was it him or Tiger Woods?
We need Jay to pop in and say, checking.
Michael Jordan's dad died July 23rd, 1993. At the age of 56 years old.
Yep.
But how? Or
checking.
Tiger Woods was cancer.
Oh.
His dad was cancer,
yep.
So it was probably Jordan that was sudden or suspicious circumstances. Wasn't it
Yes.
something suspicious?
I think it was. That's why I thought he got. I thought he
murder.
got killed.
Murder.
Oh yeah, this is quite the story. Let me read through this to summarize. Please hold.
Yep. While you're reading through it, I'll continue on, and then you can cut back in when you have the update. But anyway, so then Michael Jordan, he retired for 2 years, I believe. Came back in 90.
2 basketball seasons.
2 basketball seasons. That's correct. Came back in 1995 to the Bulls again, unretired.
At the time, it was kind of weird because you didn't know, like, was he going to be the old Michael Jordan? Was he going to be a little too old? Did he lose a step?
And the answer was
he was exactly the same,
if not better, because I think the first year that he came back was the year that the Bulls set the record at the time for most wins in a season. They won 72 games that year.
And they had an amazing team. They had Rodman
and Pippen and Jordan. But even then, he still had a bunch of role players. You still had Steve Kerr and B.J. Armstrong, and was Cartwright in that group? I think Cartwright was.
I think Cartwright was gone by then. I think it was Luke Longley.
Oh, Luke Longley! I totally forgot about him. But anyway, so they ended up coming back. He came back and won 3 more straight championships: 95, 96, 97, and he was amazing. I don't know that there is a better or more fierce competitor.
So think about that. He went back to back to back twice, and in seasons played 6 in a row.
I know.
Seasons he was playing in.
There was nobody that you wanted to have the ball more than him at a crucial point in the game.
The 2 seasons in the middle there, Chicago didn't win it.
Right.
Who did win it? Was that the years Houston won it?
Yes.
That was when the Elijah pick finally worked out.
Yep. But only because
Jordan left.
Only because Jordan wasn't there.
Okay.
And then he retires again. And how many years did he made one more comeback, didn't he?
He did. He played for the Washington Wizards for 2 years, 2 or 3.
How many years did he sit out though?
I think he sat out like 4 years, because I think it was like 2001 or 2002 that he came back and played again.
And this time he was a little too old.
Well, the age had caught up to him, but he still was good.
Yeah. He did have like some 40, 50, 60 point games, didn't he?
Yeah.
Maybe not 60,
but yeah, the age had kind of caught up to him at that point. You got an update for us, Jay?
I do.
Did you call Earl of Sandwich?
No, I can barely get my internet to hold up this connection, let alone make a call. But yeah, Michael Jordan's dad was murdered as he was sleeping in his car as part of a robbery, really. Seems pretty tragic. It was a red Lexus that he was sleeping in.
Why was he sleeping in his car?
He was a frugal sort of guy. He slept in his car often. Didn't want to do the hotel thing, just slept in his car when he was tired.
If you don't know, just say you don't know.
That's what it says.
If I remember right, there was some speculation at the time. He did obviously get murdered, but there was some speculation that there might have been some ties with that to the gambling too, if I remember right. I mean, there was all kinds of speculation around that. But beside that point, I mean, obviously he retired twice, came back. The third time he came back, he was past his prime, which, I mean, you can't fault the guy. But then after that, he retired again. He ended up buying the Charlotte Hornets, Bobcats. They were Bobcats at the time. He owned them till recently. Like, I think they sold him a couple years ago, 23.
I stopped paying attention to the NBA quite a while ago.
I think he's listed as one of the top, 5 sports figures as far as earnings, because I think he's worth over like $3.5 billion now, is what they estimate is worth at, with his shoe deals and all the stuff like that.
That was the other thing about him that we kind of just didn't talk about, was the endorsements.
Oh my God, yes.
Crazy. And
Gatorade.
He basically made Nike.
Yeah, he did.
You guys have to read about this, about his dad's murder. It's crazy. There's stuff with Michael's NBA ring.
Well, why don't you tell us about it on the podcast?
No, I'm still processing. It's wild. Some of the jewelry that was stolen from his dad was worn in a rap video. The autopsy was all weird and contested. There was no conclusive evidence of blood in the car. It's crazy.
I'm assuming it was never solved.
No, they have the guys. They listed their names here. If I can find that again. Andre Green and Larry Martin Demery, maybe?
So they don't know if these guys were connected to gambling or...
Well, apparently a call earlier in the day was to a drug dealer, but that didn't come up in the trial. I don't know. This is crazy. I need to process it. I'm sorry. I have to read more.
Michael Jordan, I think, made the NBA what it was. Obviously, you had Magic Johnson and Larry Bird that started it up. You know, that rivalry, and the Celtics and the Lakers always in the finals. But those two were kind of, I don't want to say running past their prime when Michael Jordan started through, but I think he made it as the most popular the NBA has ever been. But I think also, if Michael Jordan was allowed in his prime to play in today's NBA with the rules that they have, dude averages in the 40s, I think. He was just too good.
Interesting take.
What do you think?
Well, he wasn't really known as a fantastic shooter, which is kind of seems what today's NBA is stand around and shoot threes from the logos. But I don't know. I mean, he would obviously still be fantastic, but his game wasn't sharp shooting.
No.
Just get to the rim and...
But okay, so from that standpoint though, with today's rules, can you imagine how many free throws he'd shoot a game?
Yeah.
I don't care. He still gets to the rim, even against these guys these days.
And LeBron is a fantastic... I think he's number 2 all time. I just don't think he's better than Jordan.
I'm going to say he's 3.
Mind who?
I think Kobe's better. I think Kobe was better.
Yeah.
Okay. From a competitor standpoint, though, are you going to find... I think that the closest competitor out there to what Jordan was probably Kobe.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Physically, LeBron is...
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely above Kobe, but he's probably above Jordan, too.
Physically, I would agree. He is a physical specimen, but when he was a 17-year-old kid, he looked like he was 35.
Does that make him better or worse?
No, I'm just saying from a physical specimen, when you saw LeBron James as a 17, 18-year-old kid, did he look like a 17 or 18-year-old kid? I didn't think so. I thought he looked like a grown man.
Makes him better with the ladies.
So he was probably better than Jordan when he was 17, would you say?
Probably. As at the same age, was he a better...
That's what I mean. Yeah.
At the same... Yeah, I would say probably, because he was just physically was superior to everybody he played against. Although this is kind of off topic too a little bit, but I would love to see Jordan play in today's game with all these people flopping around and acting like they got hit. Those guys actually got hit back in the day. I remember watching some of those games when they were playing the Detroit Pistons. Those guys would take your head off.
You're such a crusty old man.
I am a crusty old man. Do you disagree? Do you think Bill Laimbeer would have hesitated to put LeBron on his ass? No.
It's a totally different game. It is.
It's totally different. Anyway, so yes, young kids, Gen Zers, Michael Jordan. Now you know what you need to know.
If you get a package from Michael Jordan, it's probably not real. Or you get an email saying you got a package from Michael Jordan.
Chances are it's not real.
Although a lot of people name their kids Michael Jordan.
It's also true.
Well, the Jordan, whatever. There's an actor, Michael Jordan, isn't there?
Yeah,
now?
they're at Michael B. Jordan.
No. Still, if you get a package from Michael B. Jordan, it's probably not real either.
Okay, here's another fun bit of trivia. What is Michael Jordan's middle name? The famous Michael Jordan's middle name. Don't look.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Checking.
Jeffrey.
It is Jeff. It is Jeffrey, but with a J. The short way with the J.
Only you would know that.
You should be proud of me, Michael, not Jordan, that I actually did some research.
Did you do research, or did you always know that?
No, I did research on that. A lot of the things...
You didn't always know that?
Maybe I did. I don't know.
Yeah.
I will say that I did. When I was doing the research on Michael Jordan, or looking back on it, there was a whole lot that I had totally forgotten that he had done. He scored 69 points in a playoff game against the Celtics one year? That's insane.
I think it was 62 or 63.
Or 62. You're right. Sorry. 69 popped in my head. I don't know why.
You've got 69 on the brain. Yeah.
Still thinking about our OnlyFans account.
Anyway, should we get into... Are we going to do the Food Hall of Fame?
Sure. What are we inducting into the Food Hall of Fame?
Crab fries.
Oh, yeah. Chickie and Pete's. Yeah.
Chickies and Pete's.
Chickies and Pete's?
You
All right.
say it wrong.
I do.
I used to say it wrong. I've tried to, once I figured it out, say it right. It's
Okay.
Chickies
Chickies?
and Pete's.
All right. So,
Both of them with S's.
Jay, have you ever had the crab fries at Chickies and Pete's?
I have once, I believe, yes.
What? As of your Vegas trip, I don't think you had, because I was trying to get you to go there.
Yeah, because where is it in Vegas? It's in
Sahara.
the Sahara, isn't it? Yeah, and that's where I was staying last time. Yeah, that's where I was stayed.
Yep.
Where you stayed, yes.
Yeah, I went there one day. I'm sure I did.
Oh, that's
Did
right.
you
With
go?
your kids.
I was trying to get you to go, but I thought maybe you didn't go. Maybe that was Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, I didn't go to Hell's Kitchen. I still regret that, to be honest. But no, we went there. We went there one day.
Maybe you went there and then didn't text me back.
Yeah, that's possible. That seems like my style.
That checks out. I'm surprised you haven't ever got them at Royals game, because you can get them there.
Oh, I did not know that.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, that's actually where I discovered them.
Isn't there a Chickies and Pete's in one of the casinos in the Kansas City area? Didn't you say there's one in there?
That's a new development.
Oh.
Originally, the only place in Kansas City was the Royals game, but now I think it was Bally's. We did try it last summer once.
And were they good there?
It was the same, yes.
In full disclosure, you had been or had eaten these fries, the crab fries, before I had even heard of them. And then one time when we were in Las Vegas, we ventured down to the Sahara. If I remember right, and correct me if I'm wrong, but we ordered 2 orders of the Chickies and Pete's crab fries because we didn't know how big they were going to be. And we got 2 huge ass orders of Chickies and Pete's crab fries.
We thought they were like individual size, but they were like a appetizer type thing.
But we ate most of them, if I remember right. They were good.
So the thing is, they have nothing to do with crabs or crab meat, which otherwise I wouldn't be anywhere near them. I believe the seasoning has something to do with maybe a seasoning they use on crab meat.
I think it's an Old Bay type seasoning, isn't it? If I remember right.
The Chickies and Pete's is mostly like an East Coast chain, Philadelphia area. So that's probably true. But there's 2 things that I love about it is the seasoning, and then this, would you call it a queso or just a cheese that comes with it? And it all just works.
White sauce, yeah. White sauce.
That's racist, Jay. It's a queso. We'll call it a queso.
That's fair.
But it just works. It's the best combination of cheese and fries I've ever had. Would you say?
It is very good. I think that's a worthy entry into the Strip Talking Food Hall of Fame for sure.
And we went to Kansas City. The rest of my family had never tried it because my wife hadn't tried it either. She wasn't with us that time we went to Vegas. Well, that's not true. I guess they did at the Royals game get to try it. But the fries just got devoured. I think we got 2 orders of them and they were just gone like that. So
Yeah.
That tells me it's not just me.
Yeah, I think you're onto something there. I think it's a good entry.
What did you think of them, Jay?
Very good. Yeah, the seasoning makes it for sure. The story is that, the crabs were only served in the summer and they needed to do something with the extra seasoning after the summer was over, so started putting it on fries. Yeah. It's the way to be. Love it.
So I could be wrong, but I think other than the East Coast, the only Chickies and Pete's locations would be Kansas City and Las Vegas.
Interesting.
Really? That I was not aware of. Makes you wonder why Kansas City then.
Oh, and Reno.
But still, those seems like I get the Vegas.
Well, somehow they got hooked up because it's a sports bar. That's their
Yeah, but the Royals suck.
right, but it's still a major league team. So they got connected with the Royals to sell them at the stadium, and they expanded into the Bally's Casino.
I never really go to Bally's in Kansas City.
Let me check and make sure it's Bally's.
You're correct, Mike, because I remember you were going there this last summer and you told me you were going to go out and eat the Chickies and Pete's.
Yeah, and we didn't even, I had the whole family, but I didn't really even gamble there. But it wasn't that impressive. It was just a big building not in the middle of nowhere, but it just didn't wow me, I guess.
Have you ever gambled at the Hollywood Casino there in Kansas City, right next to the
Yep.
Speedway?
I have. That's where I
not.
got my only
Jay
hand crab
has.
ever got. Yep. Yep.
We've heard
Yep.
that story.
I
Yes,
remember
we have.
most of it.
It's a nice casino. I like
It
that
is a nice casino. It's fairly new.
Most of
Not as new as it used to be, obviously, but still pretty modern. Well laid out, I think. Looks nice. Yeah, I like it.
There's a couple Chickies and Pete's in Atlantic City.
Makes sense.
There's probably about 10 to 12 in Philly. That's pretty much it. So really, it's quite a treat that we have it
We should feel blessed. Yeah.
relatively close to Kansas City. Or when we're in Vegas, we can hit it up in Vegas. So some of our listeners that tend to go to Vegas a lot, they should definitely hit it
Yep,
if they get the chance.
I would recommend it.
It's in the Sahara, but it's just a short monorail ride from the good casinos.
No, I agree with you there.
If you were curious about how to get there, like to the monorail stations, if there was a website that allowed you to do that.
What is their website?
No, there
Jeff?
is. Go to stripwalking.com. Check it out.
We walked right by there and filmed it, both from the street and from the monorail.
Yep, both ways.
Let's get into points to ponder.
This is Optimus Prime, and you're listening to the Strip Talking Points to Ponder.
So this time around, Mike said that he wasn't in love with any of his points to ponder, and so he asked if I had come up with any, and asked Jay as well, and Jay said no. So had a couple of them.
And then I heard yours, and I realized that mine are still the best.
That's true. So how about we do 2 of mine and 2 of yours, Mike, and then we can wrap it up.
Okay, one of yours is a yes/no. What did I tell you about yes/no questions?
Yes. One is a yes/no. Well, but there's still discussion about it. You can discuss it.
I'll allow it.
All right, Jeff, you're the podcast expert.
So I'm the podcast expert. So my first one is, as I was showering this morning, I was sitting there thinking, I was like, do you suppose it's acceptable to piss in the shower when you're taking a shower? And I thought that'd be a good point to ponder. I'd be curious what these other 2 guys would have to say about that.
Who would you like to go first?
Well, that's up to you guys. Don't all answer at once.
No, you're asking the question. You run the show,
Michael,
Jeffrey.
Mike, you answer the question first.
I would say yes, unless it's my shower.
Okay, that's fair. How about you, Jay?
The answer is yes.
Okay. Is your yes only if it's not your shower?
That is a good point.
And also, is it like one of those tub showers where it doesn't quite drain fast enough and the water kind of comes up and around your feet?
You're putting way too many stipulations on points to ponder, Mike. It's a simple yes or no question.
That's what you fuckers do to me all the time.
It does change the answer.
Okay, does it?
It changes it big time. Yeah.
Why does it change the answer?
Because if the water's rising up, you're standing in a toilet full of piss.
Okay.
Right.
So let me ask you this. Is urine sterile?
Do I care?
Well,
I'm not standing in my own piss.
Okay, fair. But my point to that is the shit that comes off of you when you're cleaning yourself is probably dirtier than the piss that you're standing in. So
That's a good point.
So are you, if the water is over almost up to your ankles in a tub shower because it's not draining fast enough?
Okay.
Are you pissing in the shower?
Yep.
Honestly.
I don't have a problem with it.
No way.
No, seriously.
I don't believe.
Seriously, Mike. Honestly, somebody brought up the question one time. Okay, it was on Dodgeball, I think, the movie Dodgeball, when he's like, "Is it necessary for me to drink my own urine?" And he's like, "No, but it's sterile and I like the taste." Honestly, the shit that comes off of your body is dirtier than piss.
Jay, thoughts?
I think Jeff has a good point there.
So are you doing it then?
I still have like half a Pop-Tart in my mouth. It's so dry.
We can hear.
I'm trying to get through it.
We can't see, but we can hear it.
No, I think it's just the idea of it, that you're standing in a toilet. Yeah.
Well, I'm not disagreeing at all with whatever Jeff's saying. I'm sure it's right.
Like the medical
This is Jeff.
aspect of it. Right.
Yeah. But
Jeff
yeah.
is our resident medical expert.
You are standing in a toilet at that point, right?
Correct.
Fair, but let me ask you this. Have you ever swam in a lake?
Yeah, that's way worse. Way worse.
I'm not really. I don't swim in many lakes, to be honest. No.
I'm just saying, in the grand scheme of things, while from the mental side of it, you might think, ooh, that's gross. In general, it's not.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Okay.
Are you going to go into your bathroom, take a piss, and then stick your feet in there before you flush it?
It's a valid point. Probably not. But being a parent, I've also had to reach into a toilet and grab a toy out of there when there's been piss in it. And while it wasn't pleasant, I still was able to do it.
That's a one-off, though. We're talking like regularly, right?
Okay, I understand your point. It was a yes/no answer, but there's some discussion.
Do women pee in the shower?
That's a good question. I'm going to say yes.
I believe the answer is no.
Do they talk about it? No.
You think they pee in the shower? Really?
I wouldn't be shocked.
Logistically, I think that'd be more difficult.
It just runs off of them.
So most showers have the toilet like steps away from the shower, though, right?
True.
Purely from a plumbing perspective, it's all going to the same pipe.
My old guy routine usually, honestly, is go to the bathroom, shower, get out, go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So I only have to make it like 10 minutes.
We are at that age.
All right, your turn, Mike.
Well, let's do the you know The Office, right?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
The only character I know is Steve Carell, so I never watched the show.
For fuck's sake.
Nope.
You didn't watch The Office?
Jeff, you got to watch The Office.
Nope, I never watched it.
I think, though, we were going to pick the same thing, right? It's Dwight.
It's Dwight. Of course it's Dwight.
Yeah. See, that was my concern with that, is everyone would pick Dwight.
Dwight makes that show.
Right. I mean, Steve Carell's good, too, but...
Well, absolutely. And to be fair, the show went downhill after he left. No doubt about it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Will Ferrell had a small stint on the show, like 3 episodes. And then it just went to shit after that. But there's some people that like the Robert California days. I don't care for them.
It was okay just because it was still The Office, but obviously it wasn't as good when he left the show.
I still watch every one of them all the time. But Dwight makes the show. His cousin Mose, who is a writer on the show, is hilarious.
I don't even know. Second place, I guess, is Michael Scott, right?
Yeah, sure. I cannot name a character on The Office that is not hilarious, and I think that's like even stupid Toby is hilarious. When I'm explaining people at my work to my kids or whatever, I reference people who they would be in The Office. Yeah,
it's funny. I was going through that with somebody the other day. Everybody fits one of them.
Yeah, totally, 100%. And the HR people are always Tobies.
Yes. I have a coworker that calls me Toby all the time.
Nice.
He just doesn't like me, so he calls me Toby. It hurts me. I believe he somehow got a hold of one of our episodes and was listening to it. And if he's listening to this one, go fuck yourself. We got like this frenemy thing going.
Sure. So yeah, Office, super classic. Jeff, you got to watch it.
All right, I'll dedicate some time.
Start to finish.
That is a little embarrassing for you, Jeff.
That's okay. I've been embarrassed by many things that have happened.
It's on Peacock. Do you have Peacock? Do you have the Peacock app? I'll give you my password.
I do not have the cock.
He has no cock.
I said the cock.
I heard what you said.
On the Peacock app, they have Superfan episodes on the Peacock app, which is like extended cuts. It has deleted scenes in there. So good.
Okay. Well, I'll have to get it from you.
So good.
All right. So my next one. How do you order a steak?
I am a rare as possible sort of guy.
We all knew that, I think. You knew that, right, Jeff?
I did know that. How about you, Mike?
I knew that, yes.
Am I that transparent? Am I that stereotypical?
Yes. Jeff was also asking me to answer, but I was being smartass.
Yeah.
I would say I usually go medium rare these days.
Medium rare or medium well?
Medium rare.
Okay, good. I was going to say anything
Medium is the max.
I was going to say anything more than medium is too cooked, is my opinion. I prefer it rare to medium rare.
If you order it medium rare, a lot of times you're going to get closer to medium because that's just what they do.
That's true.
Depending on the establishment. Unless you're ordering it with J, then you're going to get the opposite direction.
That's right. Or they're getting it back.
I am pretty proud. My oldest daughter has already rejects the idea of eating meat medium well or well done.
That's good.
Excellent.
That's very good news.
Yes, so I am proud of that fact.
I would be too.
It lets me know I raised her right.
Well, should we wrap this up?
Like your dad should have done 47 years ago.
I'm not 47, am I?
You are 40. Nope, you're not 47. You're older than that.
At our age, we should just stop counting. All right, thank you all for listening. If you enjoy our podcast, please consider subscribing. You can find us on all major social media outlets at Strip Walking, or visit us at stripwalking.com, of course. Thank you all again for listening, and may all your 7 show on the come out roll.
What are the 2 ways to spell Jeff, sir?
It's the short way with a J and the stupid way with a G.
I feel bad for making fun of Jeff. I'll get over it.